I'm Alexandra and welcome back to my channel. Today is March and since I've already did my March TBR, it's time to do my February wrap-up. Which, to be honest, for short month, I did finish a lot of books. So I did finish 11, well, finished. I read 11 books. On that, I did DNF'd, I think 2 books. Yeah, I put down 2 books before the end, which is, I'll explain to you why, but I mean, I feel like it's normal, okay? So we'll start with the first book I attempted in February. It is Idaho Babylon by Theo Hakola. This was translated from English to French, so this is the French version. And so you go into this, there's a guy who lives in France, his family is from the US. Someone calls him telling his niece is missing. You don't know really what happened. His mom is kind of weird because she's saying people call her to send money to rescue the niece, but the parent says that she is not missing. And then he goes back to the US to figure out what's happening in his family. And then you get inside the religious cult, which are, I guess, big things in the US, but like, I didn't really care about the cult in this, and it was the main story, and the characters felt not good. The niece is not really missing. She just left with a guy from that cult. She is part of the cult. Anyway, so I put it down at page 193, so more than halfway through it. It's 364 pages, so you know, it didn't work for me, and I was like, why am I keep reading? Like, why am I reading this book? Like, I don't care about anything, so I put it down. I'm gonna put it down. Then I read a book that was almost 5 stars. So I went and read Sizzle and Burn by Jane Ancrans. In this, you're going back into the arcane society with people that from the books I've read in that series. I've never met those people that are part of this book, which was great. I absolutely loved this book. I love the people, the story, but the only thing that makes it not worth 5 stars was the writing. Otherwise than the writing, the book was very good. So I gave it 4.5 stars. I feel like this was very good. One of my favorite book in that series, so you know, was very good. Also in February, I tried reading books by writers that I own more than 5 physical books that I have not read by them. So I had more than 5 books, which is why I picked this one. You'll see there's a couple of books in my the books I've read in February that are part of this, which is the case for the next book. So I read Night Prey by John Sanford. First, I had some trouble getting into the story. It took a while. The point of view of the officers, this is a thriller, so the point of view of the officers was very bad. I found it boring, problematic. There were some comments that were not good, so, you know. But then the POV of the killer and the victim were very good. Like, I'm not saying that I love the killer or the victim or whatever. It's just, it was well made. Once I got into the story, it became better. The last half of the book was way better than the first part. It was great. The writing was not it for me. Like, it just wasn't working. But the story overall was pretty good. So I gave it a 3 stars, which is not too bad. So I'll keep reading John Sanford. Yeah, I mean, John Sanford is by far not my favorite thriller writer, but I mean, it was okay. It was a okay book. Then I read Devil in Spring by Lisa Kleypas. This is a historical romance, and I gave it a 5 stars. So in this, you're following Pandora, an independent woman who's trying to just start a business. She wants to make a board game and sell it, and it's all connected. So she doesn't want to get married because in that time, a woman, once she was married, she would lose everything. Everything was owned by her husband. So she doesn't want to get married because she doesn't want to lose her business. And then she finds herself in a position, not that good with a man. It was just unfortunate that someone walked when that happened, and she's now forced to marry the guy. What's the name of the guy? Gabriel, Lord St. Vincent, who was also not necessarily looking for a wife at that moment. So they get together, they have to get married, but a bunch of other things happens. It's kind of a bit like a thriller. I mean, there's things happening, and I really enjoyed this. It was so good. And also I used to read a lot of historical romance, which is not the case anymore, unfortunately, but this was so good that it makes me want to read historical romance again. So, you know, I've read another book in the month, we'll see later. Then I read an ebook, Unlikely Story by Ali Rosen. This was like free on the Prime Reading thing. It was, I think it's getting published in March or something. So it was bad. Okay, I gave it 2 stars. I don't think I will ever think about this book again, because you're following this woman who is a psychologist, and she acts like a teenager with everyone in her life. And then she's kind of in love with this guy that she's working with, but she has never met him. But then she has a new neighbor. She kind of falls in love with the neighbor, but she's like, oh, but this other guy that I've never met. And then she realized that, this is a spoiler, but the 2 guys are the same guy. The guy that used to live in London or the UK moves to the US. She lives in the US, but she doesn't know that her coworker moved. So anyways, once she finds out that it's the same guy, she takes forever before telling him she knows. So, you know, acts like a teenager. Yeah, I mean, the plot twist, the spoiler I just said, I could see it from the beginning, so not that great. I wouldn't say I'm disappointed in that book, because I had no expectations going into it. I had no idea what it was about, but it was pretty bad, so 2 stars. At least I finished it. Then I read another thriller, The Long Way Home by Louise Penny. I will keep reading Louise Penny because she's from Quebec, she's Canadian, she writes, the stories are set in Quebec, which is where I live, but like, they're getting worse and worse. I did not care about this book at all. The ending shocked anyway me a bit, but the rest very boring. I gave it 2 stars, but I wasn't enjoying myself, so you know, we'll see. I will still read all the books I own by her, but I don't think I will buy any. But that being said, someone today told me that the books will get better. I don't know, but we'll see. Then I finished a book that I started in 2024. It is Cross the Line by Simone Soltani. So I've been reading this aloud with my boyfriend. It's taking months just because it takes time to read aloud and you need to find the right moment and all of that. So it took me a while, not because I didn't enjoy the book. I love this book. Well, I mean, not loved, but pretty, it was good. So you're following a few people in the world of F1, so Formula 1. This is racing. I love F1, okay, I'm a big fan, and my boyfriend is too, so that was a good way to, you know, mix our hobbies, whatever. So some of the parts that talks about F1 and the strategy and all of that are not that good. They feel a bit unreal, especially at the end. If you know, you know. Sometimes the F1 parts are a bit confusing, but the romance was very cute. I enjoyed it. So the romance was very cute, funny. Overall it was a good book. I gave it 4 stars. We've already started another book about F1 and romance. We'll see how that goes, but yeah, happy I finished it. So another book I put down was Hunting Adeline by H.D. Colton. I read this for free, okay, on the unlimited Kindle thing. I put it down at 36%. The part where I decided that I was done was when the guy decided to put the gun in the mouth of the girl. No. I'll link my vlog where I talked about this book. Anyways, it was very bad. It shouldn't even be classified as romance. I don't care if people say it's dark romance. This should not be a romance. A stalker? No, stop. Call the police. That's all. That's it. Then, book 9 is Higher Authority by Stephen White. This was also part of my reading books by writer, whatever, that I just talked about. I gave this 2 stars. Okay, it was very bad. It was very forgettable. Like, even now, it's been like 2 weeks, 1 week since I finished it. I don't even remember what it was about. So, yeah, it's a thriller. People died. People get arrested. It was not the best thriller, but I mean, it wasn't that bad because I finished it. There was nothing that was like, I'm gonna put it down, but you know. I'm gonna still be reading Stephen White because I've read other books by him that were better, but we'll see. I mean, I hope I will find something better than this. But yeah, at least I finished it. Then, another historical romance was Devil in Disguise by Lisa Kleypas. I gave this 4 stars, but I think it was just because this is the last book of 2 series, so you know when they meet, families meet. Anyways, there were some parts I wasn't, like, I couldn't keep up with everything in this book. But I mean, it was still good. Yeah, the romance was cute. Yeah, I will keep reading Lisa Kleypas because enjoy myself this month with her. Then the last book I did finish in March was this one, The Hero of Ages by Brandon Sanderson. This is the last book in the first Mistborn trilogy. It's part of one of my challenges this year. It was almost 800 pages, so I'm glad I finished it. I still believe that The Well of Ascension was better than this, so book 2. But I still enjoyed myself pretty much. I dropped coffee on the book, which is unfortunate, but yeah, this was good. So, 11 books finished in February. I think it was a very good reading month, except for the 2 books I put down, but you know, at least I tried something that was very popular, did not enjoy it, gave my opinion on it. But yeah, it was a good month and I'm very excited for March. It's now the 2nd day of March and I've already finished 2 books, so hopefully it goes well. But yeah, thank you for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe and I'll see you soon in another video. Bye!